I couldn't believe this. Oh my God. Well, we'll get started just in a few seconds. Let me say hello to the people in the chat, the inner circle members. You'll see the IC next to their name, and then also the super chatters. So, hi, Bill. Hey, Craig, Bill, Arthur, Deborah, Jerome, Lisa Marie, Eric, Jody, Mary, Kai, Sandy, Melody. I love you guys. Got started a few minutes late today. Corky. So I appreciate each and every one of you. So hi, Peter. We'll go ahead and get started here. Hello, my name is Robert Hollis. I hope you're having a wonderful and blessed day. And the title for today is I Couldn't Believe This. I just couldn't believe this. Now, when I start out saying that, I want each and every one of you to think about things that you were told, that you find out later was just total not true. Like the biggest lies in the world. It was funny because I went on AI, artificial intelligence, and I asked it that very question. And I'm going to be sharing some of those with you guys today. And it's just really amazing that we as human beings will consistently stay locked on and believe things that we grew up with that we know that are not true, but we just won't let go of them. And so, here's me. I get told that, go get educated. I wasn't the smartest tool in the shed. I found out later in life that why I had difficulty reading and spelling is because I was dyslexic. And, a little bit of that sprinkle, I think that I would have been on, double doses of Ritalin if they would been able to diagnose me, because I was a big daydreamer and I still am a big daydreamer, right? And so I can remember my third grade teacher, Mrs. Penjalson. You know what I mean? She said, Bobby, you're not going to amount to anything. And I was like, wow, all right. So, why should I care? You know what I mean? And so, we think of these things that we're taught. And when I met, two of my mentors, Roger Pinsky, and then also a guy named Bill Gould, when I met them, they started exposing these lies. And one of the things that really blew me away is I was really upset that about the age of 25, the world doesn't really expect much of you, get a good job, sometimes depending your environment, people want you to go to school and do good in school. And all of a sudden, when I got a little older and decided, hey, I'm going to move to California, that's where everyone makes more money, is in California. And so I go out there and I immediately realize that it costs more to live there. So, at the age of 24, 25, I don't know if you're like me, but, I was really had a chip on my shoulder and a little pissed off because I'm going like, wait a minute. I'm working for the best owner out there. I'm a master automotive technician. I graduated top of my class and North Dakota College of Science. And, I don't seem to have a lot of extra money. You know what I mean? It was like, where's this extra money going to come from to build a race car? That's what I thought I was going to do. Eventually did that because I got into marketing, not being an auto mechanic. But it was like, just living paycheck to paycheck. And I'm not living in a good area. I don't have anything fancy. We don't have a lot of extra money. And I'm sort of asking myself, man, what did I buy into? I don't know if any of you bought into, this stuff, but all of a sudden I started hanging around people that were telling me, hey, Bobby, that's not true. Hey, Bobby, that's not true. So I thought it was really interesting because when I put this in AI, and all I asked was, What's the biggest lie we're told as we're growing up? What is the biggest lie? And of course, this said according to your culture and where you grew up, it changes. But the word that it says here is that the lie is that everything is permanent, that everything is permanent and life structures are rigid, right? Like there's this proven path that we all get to go on, and that's going to get us to happiness and fulfillment and joy. And I don't know about you watching this live or recorded, but do you feel that you've been taught the right path? Have you really? Hey, Bill, thank you very much. I love you, man. Appreciate you. The orphans are going to love it. And so, the reality is that change is the only constant, the only constant. And so we were taught that it's just going to be, you do this and you go through life, when we don't realize that through life, everything is changing. There's always ups and downs. There's always ups and downs. There's always up and downs. Everything's changing. The economy's changing. The government's changing. The weather's changing. It's like everything is changing. So what one time was a job that maybe a person might be going for, all of a sudden gets eliminated and there's no job. Jerome, thank you so much. I love and appreciate you for the donation to the orphans. It's awesome. So I thought that was funny, that's the number one thing that we're taught as a kid. Go to school, get a good education. For some of us, get some more education. For some of us, go get some more education, then go get a job, work really, really hard, and everything's going to be okay. Are any of you still following that? Are you still following that? So when I get around people that were successful, that did have a good lifestyle, that were doing things that other people weren't, they were telling me, Robert, man, do you know the most successful people in the world didn't finish college? What? Robert, did you know that, a majority of the people that have a degree actually now change careers multiple times in their life? Are you telling me that people have degrees and not using that degree to earn money? What? What are you talking about? So, back in the day, it's like, what? You got involved in a company and you worked for 40 years, retire, get a watch, get a pension, everything's okay. Arthur, thank you so much. I appreciate you, man, being a super an inner circle member. Love and appreciate you. So, think about that, right? So the other one here is success and happiness, right? The lie is success is defined by wealth, power, and social status. Now, this is what the world says. If you got money, you'll be happy. That's why we always got that thing, money doesn't buy happiness. It's true. It's 100% true. So if money doesn't grow on trees, where does it grow? My mentor used to say to me all the time, Robert, did you get an owner's manual? Hell no, I didn't get an owner's manual. And then you get married. Is there a marriage manual? And then you have kids. Is there a kid manual? It's like it's amazing to me that really no one knows what's going on, but the majority of the people follow an unproven path, right? So the reality is success and happiness are subjective and can take many forms. So we're not taught to go inside to find happiness. We're told the way to happiness fulfillment is outside, not inside. And so if you go your whole life trying to find that thing, that if you only hit this rank, if you only made this much money, if you only, hit this political status, if you only were, in this club or social society, if you're only an actor or a singer, with a top 10 hit, then if you're an influencer, right? If you were like a star on a reality show, right? That is true happiness. And so when we find out later by hanging around other people, the way to greatness and happiness and fulfillment is the service of many. See, we're not taught that in the early part of our lives. We're taught that we need to focus and be competitive and got to get mine, man. It's eat or get eaten, right? It's like what do you mean help other people? Are you out of your freaking mind? I got to pay mine. I need my rent. I need to sell something. I need to close somebody. You know what I mean? Like Glenn Ross or the Tin Man or Wall Street. It's like kill or be killed. You know what I mean? It's like, well, what if you don't have that personality trait? This other one, 3, failure. Where were we told the lie? This is according to all the stuff in AI. Failure is bad and should be avoided at all costs. Do not risk. Do not risk. Stay safe. Stay conservative. Don't try things. See? So we're told that, man, what is everybody going to say if I fail? What are people going to say about me? I'm now thinking 3 people out, right? I'm thinking about a person and what they're thinking about me, right? I'm not that important. See, I find that out later. When you realize how little people think about you, you'll be a different person because they're not thinking about you. You're not that important. And what people think about you is none of your business. The reality is, here's the reality, and we all know the reality, right? The reality is failure is a natural part of the learning process of the human experience. I mean, what if we were told that as we're going through school trying to memorize stuff to be able to get on a test to get a grade, what if we were taught that failure is just a part of life? And when you do fail, it's no big deal. What if people actually got praise and recognition for failing? Because at least they risked it and attempted to do something extraordinary instead of just being average and ordinary their entire life. See, when I started hanging around people that were risk takers and they lived like just had these incredible things that they did in life, when I started doing that, that's when the rest of the world sort of looked at me funny. It's like, why would you go to Mexico? Why would you go to Peru? Why would you go to Colombia, Ecuador, Salvador? Why would you go to Argentina? Why would you go to Europe and Hungary? Why would you go to Asia? Why would you go to Philippines? Why would you go to Malaysia? Why would you go to China? Why would you go to Japan? Why would you go to Africa? See, because all of these are risks. Oh my God, that's a risk. See, and we're not taught that it's okay to fail. So there's still people out there that will watch this video live or recorded that you really don't do anything or attempt to do anything because you still are beating yourself up. You won't stop being a bully to yourself. And you're always worried about being a people pleaser of what other people think, right? So what's the other one? Self-worth. What's the lie? What's the lie? Your worth is determined by your achievements on how others perceive you. Isn't this deep? So you got the majority of the people in the world that are out there. What do they think? What do they think? What do they think? People don't even know the people that are walking around with they on signs. It's like people are scared to reach out to strangers because they don't know what they would think. People are scared to post things on social media because what would they think? What would family members, so we're told all of this stuff, and it makes us not triers. People that are conservative, we're so worried about failing and what other people think, we won't do anything, 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 right? So what's the reality? Self-worth is intrinsic. Man, I'm getting good at reading. And not solely based on external factors. So it's sad that there's people that die and they didn't even know that this was an internal game, that they need to find, information and find people that were happy and fulfilled, that give to others, that they get the true joy in life is through giving instead of receiving. And they never ever figured out how to make enough money or how to have enough time to constantly be in the place of being an impact to the world. That they focus on them and loving themselves, becoming humble, getting rid of the ego, understanding that, change and up and downs and pains are just a part of life, that without it, there's no yin or yang. So there's no way that you can have incredible peace and joy and fulfillment and excitement and exhilaration in your life if you don't know the opposite. The reason light is so important is because we know the darkness. The reason that we can enjoy and really have wonderful things in our life that really fulfill us is because there's actually things that are awful. So it's like it's just part of life. Corky, thank you so much, man. You're the best. I love you so much. The kids are gonna love it. Authority and okay, that's a big word. Abundance? Authority and abundance? I think so. Anyway, lie. Authority figures always know what's best. And obedience is a virtue. Ooh. Like there's always the elite, right? The elite are smarter than us. The elite know more than us. They're educated. They got degrees. That all these people that are elected to office and that, they went to Harvard, they went to Yale, that all these people know more. They know more. So we're stupid. So we just need to turn everything over to them and let them make the decisions. And then when they make the wrong decisions, then our job is to complain and pick sides and be competitive. I told my son one time, I seen this neat little photograph on social media, and the new king was being elected. So they actually used the example, when Queen Elizabeth died, and now her son is a king. He's a king. And he's standing on that thing where everyone sees him like the Pope. And he's like seeing all these people arguing and they're mad. And the court jesters behind him. And he's going, wow. He says, now that I'm king, everyone's going to blame me. And the court jester said, nah, you see the people down there? There's two groups of people. One group have torches and the other ones have pitchforks. So we're going to tell them that the people that have pitchforks, that the people that have flames in their hand, that they're the ones that are the problem. And then we're going to tell everyone with torches in their hand that everyone with forks in their hand, pitchforks in their hand, that they're the problem. And we're just going to get them to argue and fight against each other, and they will forget all about you. Wow, we're talking about I can't believe this, right? And it's like, does the media, does social media and all of this stuff, these concepts or whatever you want to call them, do they get you so upset at the other person that you take off eyes of what's most important, and that's you serving another human being, you developing wisdom and knowledge that you can share with somebody else to get them to not fall for these lies that are all over the world? What a concept, huh? So what's the reality? Critical thinking and questioning are essential, and authority figures can be wrong. When I first met one of my mentors, and he said, Robert, do you know that a majority of the people would rather die than think? They would rather die than think. They don't have any critical thinking, nor, and some of you will get mad at this, I sort of went, come on. He's going, try to find an original thought that you've had, that you've worked so much on your own personal thinking and your connection with whatever you believe, that you came up with an original thought. Because now we have AI and Google and YouTube, and you can take your original idea that you think is so amazing and put it in one of those three, and then you'll find out, wow, I didn't even realize that someone not only had that thought, but they jumped on it and didn't risk. I mean, they risk and they just jumped, and they not only bought the domain, they not only built a website, they're not only marketing, they already have a YouTube channel with, tens of thousands of viewers that they're making money from. And it's like, wow, I thought I came up with this idea. No, but to be able to understand that as soon as you decide that you want to do something with your life and change it because you don't want to live like this anymore, that you have to follow this proven system. See, that's what I realize when I'm hanging around people that are making incredible money and making incredible impact. And I find out that the things that I thought that the society and the world told me were not true. And that's one of the biggest things I've tried to instill in people is that what if the way that you think and the way that you got brought up and the environment that you brought you up is you think that things are a certain way and they're not that way. They're not that way. So, like when people grow up their whole life and their employee mentality, and then they get out in the world and they think the very first thing that they need to do is they're an employee and they make a check and then they consume. So then they get involved in a business like me, and the first thing they want to do is sell stuff. See, they don't even know where that programming comes from. They don't even know what, Robert. Well, the only way you make money is sell something. No, that's not the only way to make money. So when my mentor started saying to me, hey, profits are better than wages, I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Well, Robert, you got to have leverage. You got to have residual. What the hell is that? Well, this is the only way you can really build a secure income that puts you in a wealth category, because you're looking for people that want to change their lives as well. They don't want to be consumers. They want to change their life. They want freedom. They want a lifestyle. They want to make abundance and money to give an impact to other people. Look for people like that. Don't look for people to sell stuff to. Don't look for people to close. That's where that phrase comes from. You can shear a sheep forever. You can only skin it once. So there's a lot of philosophies out there that the way to do this business is to sell people on the biggest package and then abandon them. That's why this industry has a bad name. So what if the way that a 90% of the people, or it's really 95% of the people that get in this business, they're never ever showing the right philosophy because they mentally believe that they know what to do. So they go out there and do what they believe they should do, and they fail miserably. And then it's the industry's fault. It's the company's fault. It's the product's fault. It's their upline fault. Right? So think about that. All right. So last one here is fairness. Wow. Life is always fair and good behavior is always rewarded. Hey, have you guys ever heard the phrase nice guys, or should I say people now, a person, be politically correct? nice persons, you know, finish last. We hear about this whole concept that, listen, why can't life be fair? And when you hang around people and you hear, oh my God, you hear about this tragedy, you hear about this bad thing, and then someone says, hey, you go to Google and just type in how many people die a day in the world. 150,000 people. Wow. I guess I sort of knew that. Well, why are you choosing this group of people to feel sorry for? Why is this group of people that died more important than this group of people that died? Well, because the media brings that group of people to our attention. The media and the propaganda do their very best to help us with our thinking. And if they help us with our thinking, then we're constantly worried about, oh my God, do you realize there's 30, 40 million people every day that are going to be subject to bad weather? My God, when I grew up, I never ever seen where there's a whole section of the news that, hey, a bunch of group over here are getting hammered by the weather, but hey, a bunch of group over here is getting hammered by the weather. Hey, over here, there's a group of people being hammered by the weather. It's like, why don't they ever say, hey, listen, there's 300 million people in America. These 30 million right here are having a storm cross, but that leaves what? That leaves 300 million people that are having a pretty good day. Because that would be boring, right? Hey, today I just wanted to tell you that 300 million people in America are going to experience a pretty good day today. No, it's these 40 million people, these 70 million people, oh my God. So if they keep us in a heightened awareness of always being uncertain and scared and worried, then we feel paralyzed to do anything with our lives. And then we allow elected officials to steer the direction for us. And they can set the economy, gas prices, inflation, shut the government down. They can do any freaking thing they want. See, no one ever shared with you that, wow, what if you wanted to be in control of your own economy? What? Yeah. What if you could make an abundance of money by helping other people get wisdom and knowledge, and they could actually switch their power? And it didn't make a difference if we were in inflation or not, you're going to be okay. Does it make a difference what the gas prices are? Does it make a difference what the house prices are? What if you could get in that level where there's real true freedom, where there's abundance of money in the bank when if something weird happened, you could be one of the first people to move your family, protect your family, live in a safe area? What if? What if? So, what is the reality? Life is often unfair, but we're told to get pissed off about it. Aren't don't you understand that life is unfair? And someone needs to be blamed for this. Somebody's got to get. I'm upset at those people. See, now we can take that internal rage and blame it on the government or blame it on a certain race or blame it on a certain group of people. Now we get to be victims. Now we get to be, have, hopelessness because we don't believe that it's possible for us to have a chance to get out of this situation. And justice is not always being served. Wow, what if things are just happening? It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that all of a sudden a bunch of rain hits and then a couple of dams break and then a bunch of people, 10, 20,000 people disappear. And what is the very first thing that they say? Yeah, the government should have been taking a better look at those dams. You know what I mean? Those dams failed because the country could predict how much rain was going to fall. You see? So, isn't it amazing how fast we forget, about Maui? Oh my God, who is responsible for that? Oh, the power company? Oh my God. No, a lot of people might have forgot about Maui because there's been some other things that have happened by then. See? So the last thing is these lies are often well intentioned as parents, educators, and society aim to guide young people towards happy lives. See, one of the things that my mentors made me realize is when I didn't get an owner's manual, that I also found out that my parents didn't get owner's manual and neither did their parents. So when you sort of start realizing that a majority, or if not all, there's no one that would say that statement, that a majority of the people, if not all people, really don't have a freaking clue. No one wants to admit that they really don't understand. They don't get it, that they don't know, that they didn't know that this was going to happen, and they didn't know this was going to happen, and that most people are just doing their best to survive and just doing the best that they can with what they got. No, we got to sit down and blame a generation. We got to sit down and blame, parents. We got to, sit down and blame grandparents. See, someone's got to be a blame for my life being freaking out of control. Oh, another lie? Another lie that I actually have control over a majority of the things that happen in this planet, and I need to stop it, and I need to get things what? A majority of the people that I know, including me, not only don't know, but they're doing their best with what they have, but they understand how to, I just better, not judge and just really, really take the time to make my life, my emotions. Let me see if I can do a better job at controlling my emotions, the way I react to things, going bananas because I think somebody did something to victimize me, and they need to pay. And it's like, wow, what if I first got to do my best with me? And so, never have I ever sat and told my sons, Matthew might be on here, or my son Robert Hollis Jr. or Kyle. I've never ever told my sons that I knew everything. I told them just the opposite. I go, listen, you think you know stuff, but who are you hearing it from? Why are you up in a tizzy and you believe a certain way when you're just following a group of people that said that? How do you know that? Ah? See, that's when my mentor got in my heart and in my soul and my spirit is when he said, Robert, what if you don't know? What if the stuff that you know isn't so? When would you like to know? Oh, right now. No, no, you're not going to want to know because now you don't get to blame everyone. Now you don't get to make excuses. Now you don't have to say, well, listen, this is the way that it happens. See, now you got to take personal responsibility. Now you got to take the personal responsibility as I don't feel a very control of my thinking. I constantly got Dino and a lot of other voices rah, 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 telling me that I'm worthless and I'm not a miracle and I'm not enough and I'm not deserving and I don't, I can't be wasting people's time by asking for help. See, now all of a sudden it's like, no, wait a minute. You don't get to make excuses. You got to be direct with what you want in your life. I can help you get anything you want in life if you know what you want. And now there's resources all over the world to help you really define exactly what you need to do to change that thinking, to change those feelings, to change those emotions of not being learned hopelessness. Now you got hope. Now you're inspired. Now you know that you have knowledge that if you're just willing to go through the knowledge and the wisdom and practice it to change the way you feel, to change the way you act, then everything around you has a different perspective and you change. No, No, you just don't know how hard it is, Robert. I do know how hard it is because you said it was hard. No, no, wait a minute. I just, I'm AD, triple D, XYZ, and whatever, whatever. Just keep telling yourself that, keep telling yourself that you're not good with technology, that is confusing, that is frustrating, that no one's there to help you. If you want help, if you want a helping hand, look at the end of your frickin' arm. Yeah, there's a helping hand. Huh? Eric Markman sent me a deal yesterday of a video of an auto mechanic with no legs. And so he lost his legs, and his parents just raised him with like he had no disability. So he's an auto mechanic with no legs. And he was telling, when they were interviewing him, he was telling them, hey, you wouldn't believe all the great things about this. So I sent Eric Markman, Eric, thanks for being on here. I sent Eric Markman a video of a guy that works for Hendrick Motorsports, the most winning NASCAR group in the world, run by Ricky Hendricks. And the guy that works for Hendricks doesn't have any arms. And he's a fabricator. This is a person that makes metal and fabricates a car, a race car. And it's like, wow, it's just amazing. To finish this off, it says, yet every individual must confront and reconcile these perceived notions with their own experience, values, and beliefs. As they grow and learn, each person's journey is unique. Each person's journey is unique. And there is no one size that fits all approach to life. Man, they sure couldn't control us if they said, hey, listen, I just need you to know up front, you are unique. You're a miracle. You were created to create. And we got to find within you the voice that you were given to talk to those that need to hear. You're unique, so you don't need to be like everybody else. You're not supposed to be like everybody else. This is your journey. And you got to find people that light you up, that inspire you, that give you hope. And you got to go, you know what? I'm going to follow them and use from them what I can use to get the best out of me, to be the best parent I could be, to be the best spouse that I could be, to be the best friend I could be, to be the best impact that I could be. Each and every day, I'm going to get better and better in every way. And I'm just going to work on getting better. I'm not going to worry about what's happening all over the world that I can't control. So I love and appreciate you. I believe in you. I know you can do this because I did it. So I'm consistently my entire life been looking for resources and things to help me be the most unique person that I can be. And it's easy because I can feel the things that light me up. I can feel the stuff that makes me happy. I can feel that, when I light those things up in other people. So when I find people that have ears to hear and they're willing to admit that they've been listening to the wrong dinos and they're going to stop doing that, then their life changes. Then there's the other group of people that just say, you know what, I was dealt a bad hand and, my life sucks and it's always going to suck. And if you don't believe me, just let me tell you how much my life sucks and why everything keeps bad happening to me and why everything around me is unjust and unfair. And I didn't have any parents and I didn't, I was raised in foster homes and I hung around the wrong people for approval and I got put in prison and now I can't fill out a form that says, are you a felon? So I can't get a decent job. And so now I got to rob and steal from other people. and bash in their cars and steak stuff and sell stuff so I can live a decent lifestyle because the world done bad things to me. See, you got to find a way to get the hell out of that. So when I got involved in MDC and other companies like it didn't ask me if I'd been a felon. It didn't ask me if I had parents. It didn't ask me if I grew up in foster homes. See, it didn't ask me any of that. It was an equal opportunity. So then I need to listen to people that had results on helping other people get results and just do that. If I can do it, you can do it. So do me a huge favor, send this video to people that are believing the wrong things. Because life is really simple, you guys. It really, really is. If you do certain things, you get not long-term results, you get instantaneous results. So if you're doing things that are not getting instantaneous results and making you feel better, because you know you've helped other people feel better, then you're not doing the right things. Stop doing those things and only do things that are proven that you can see that are changing other people's lives. So I'll see you on the next video again. I appreciate you. Thank you again to all the super chatters. I love and appreciate you all. And we'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.